Hey guys, LevelCap here, and today in gaming, an official survey might confirm Battlefield 6 rumors, Warzone might be getting a big weapon balance update, Ubisoft fixed a major bug in Rainbow Six Siege, and much more. What looks like an official EA survey might confirm some key details about Battlefield 6. Some Battlefield players say that EA sent them an email with the survey and it asked some very particular questions. Probably the most exciting question asked if you'd be interested in a free-to-play game mode. It's rumored Battlefield 6 will include a free-to-play Battle Royale mode. EA announced recently that Criterion, the studio that made Battlefield 5's Firestorm Battle Royale, is working on Battlefield 6. That probably means that they're working on a Battle Royale mode, and this survey might be confirmation that it will eventually be free to play. That said, it could also just be gauging interest in limited time free to play weekend events, which happen multiple times for Battlefield 5. The next big question on the survey is if you'd be interested in map updates changing existing maps. Historically, DICE never plans to make massive changes to their existing maps. This question seems to imply that the Battle Royale map or maps for Battlefield 6 will evolve as we've seen in other Battle Royale games. DICE clearly intended to update the Firestorm map over time, but its failure to gain an audience dashed those plans. One of the big roadblocks for Battlefield 5's developers is that the map took anywhere from 6 months to a year to finish. Hopefully this question means DICE are in a better position to update the maps quickly. The last big question in the survey is if you'd be interested in a battle pass for the next Battlefield game. Tides of War for Battlefield 5 was a weirdly interesting battle pass system. It offered a ton of content that could be unlocked via challenges and XP grinding. While much of that content wasn't anything to write home about, it still helped keep the game feeling fresh. The only problem was many of the challenges were counterproductive for players trying to win their matches. Towards the end of Battlefield 5's live service, the challenges got much better, so I think many players would be interested in either Tides of War 2.0 or a more generic battle pass system. Now, again, there is a possibility that this survey is made up. The questions are also very generic sounding and don't necessarily indicate much. The response I got on Twitter asking about the survey didn't give me any sort of confirmation that the survey was genuine, but if it is genuine, it could mean DICE have a compelling live service plan for Battlefield 6. Warzone's current weapon meta issue might be getting resolved with the mid-season update next week. Treyarch have tuning in the works for several weapons. The most high-profile weapons getting tweaked are the FFAR and MAC-10. These two guns are currently dominating Warzone, so it's great to see them potentially getting nerfed. And I do say potentially because Treyarch announced these changes are coming to Cold War and haven't confirmed if they'll be made for Warzone as well. Raven Software are in charge of Warzone updates and they haven't said anything about weapon tuning yet. In other Call of Duty news, Eurogamer have confirmed the next entry in the franchise will return to World War II. They say their sources confirm the recent leak saying Sledgehammer Games are developing a sequel to 2017's COD World War II. Considering Eurogamer have proven to be very reliable in this regard for the past 5 years, it's safe to say there's at least some element of truth to the leak. The working title for the game is Call of Duty World War II Vanguard. Ubisoft fixed the recoil bug introduced with the Crimson Heist update for Rainbow Six Siege. The bug caused weapon recoil to vary in unpredictable ways, which isn't how Siege's recoil is intended to work. The fix was available on the test server for a few days before going live. The patch also introduced the first set of streamer mode options to the game. You can now hide your region and implement a hidden matchmaking delay. Finally, the patch also fixed a massive exploit that let players peek around a corner while knifing much faster than intended. Overall, the update is small, but a critical one. A Halo Infinite voice actor might have accidentally leaked the game's release date. In a recent interview with the Fathom and Friends podcast, Spartan Griffin's voice actor Verlon Roberts said the game has been pushed back to a November launch window. 343 has previously said that they're targeting an autumn launch window, which does start in September in the US, so this new leak is really more of a confirmation of what we already knew, giving us a slightly more precise timeframe. The Left 4 Dead spiritual sequel, Back 4 Blood, has been delayed. It was initially supposed to launch in June, but will now release on October 12th. The good news is it'll be getting an open beta this summer. The bad news is, well, it could be competing with a lot of big AAA shooters. Back 4 Blood is being developed by the studio that created Left 4 Dead. Based on the game's closed beta, many players say it's basically the Left 4 Dead 3 Valve hadn't made yet. Indie FPS sub Rosa is finally available on Steam. The game has been in development for 9 years, and while it's been accessible through Steam since 2014, the listing wasn't public. Basically, you had to know what you were looking for just to find it. Today, however, it's officially an early access game. Sub Rosa is a multiplayer FPS that dynamically creates PvP Mexican standoff matches. Trading data discs with the other team will give you rewards, but double-crossing other players and stealing the discs is potentially more lucrative. It's an interesting premise for a game and has developed a strong cult following over the years. Risk of Rain 2's massive anniversary update is live. It adds a new survivor, monster, elite enemy, boss, and an entirely reworked final level. The update also caused a massive spike in concurrent players, jumping to 55,000 from its usual 7,000. In general, Risk of Rain 2 has been a very well-received game. It's getting its first paid expansion this holiday season. Microsoft's move to acquire Discord for $10 billion is starting to sound more real. According to the Wall Street Journal, Microsoft are now in advanced and exclusive talks that could wrap up next month. Assuming Discord agrees to Microsoft's offer, the acquisition could have enormous implications for the chat client. Discord has become the default chat app for millions of gamers and everyday folk alike, far surpassing Microsoft's own chat app Skype in popularity. Digital Foundry showcased a modded version of the PlayStation 4 exclusive Bloodborne running at a native 1080p 60fps on a PS5 dev kit. They also upscaled the footage using AI to show what the game might look like at 4K. Bloodborne is currently locked to 30fps even on the PlayStation 5 because it never got a Pro or next-gen upgrade. The 60fps mod only runs on hacked PlayStation consoles capable of executing unsigned code. Even if you did manage to run it on a PS4 or PS4 Pro, hitting native 1080p 60fps is impossible. It is possible on the PlayStation 5 though. Since the PlayStation 5's OS hasn't been cracked yet, you'll need a developer kit which isn't publicly available. The mod is also limited to 1080p, so no native 4K output. Hopefully Sony is taking notice of this mod and are working with the developers on a next-gen upgrade for Bloodborne. It was one of PlayStation 4's best exclusives, and it'd be a shame to see it locked to low resolutions and frame rates forever. Before we move on to our final story today, happy Friday everyone. If you missed the big stories this week, we'll have you covered with tomorrow's episode of This Week in Gaming. Be sure to tune in for that episode and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. 2 high-ranking Apex Legends players have been banned for DDoSing their way to the top. 2 videos popped up on social media yesterday of the players in question winning matches when the server freezes and kicks their opponents out. Before being banned, they had made their way to 4th and 6th place globally on Xbox. That takes a lot of time and begs the question of how they weren't banned already. Respawn recently banned 700 high-ranking Apex players, so it's clear they're chasing down suspect players. But DDoSing to win a match is a very obvious tactic. It seems like they might have avoided being banned if these clips hadn't gone viral on the game's subreddit and Twitter. Hopefully the developers can work on an algorithm to track the frequency of DDoSing attacks in certain player accounts. And that wraps it up for today in gaming. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. This is LevelCap signing off.